Hello YouTube, and welcome to another DBTGamer special. This is the second part in my manga, game books, and game comics recommendation video. So, let's get started. Now it's time to shift gears to books based on video games. When I was at Adam's house when I was younger, I discovered these Resident Evil books. I was going to read them, but I never got round to it. And then a few years passed, and eventually I bought the first one at a bookstore called Waterstones, and I really enjoyed it. This is the first one I bought. This is based off Resident Evil 1. It's based off Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation 1, not Resident Evil 1 for the GameCube, which was a little bit disappointing, but because I prefer the GameCube version, but nevertheless a good read. If you like the Resident Evil series, you will definitely enjoy these books. They're not too difficult and they're not too daunting. Each one is in between 300 and 400 pages long, and they're definitely well worth reading and very enjoyable. And it's just a really great series. That's the first one. It's just really great. Here's Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0 is one of my favourite Resident Evil games as far as the older one's concerned. It was really great to learn about Rebecca and Billy's relationship and their struggles through the zombie-infested mansion stroke train stroke laboratory. It was just really great. These are written by S.D. Perry. She translates films to books and video games to books. That's basically as an awful what she does, and she does it rather well. This is a Cannibal Cove. This is not based on a Resident Evil game itself. This is actually based on the author's own interpretation. She basically did a side story, and it works really well. I enjoyed the fact that she did a little side story for Rebecca Chambers, and it was nice to see Rebecca Chambers get her own little book where she's the main character and them take down a separate zombie lab. It's a great read. Definitely very enjoyable. I enjoyed this. City of the Dead. This is based on Resident Evil 2. It's quite a long one because Resident Evil 2 is quite a long game, but it's very enjoyable, and the way it bounces between Claire and Leon, it's rather well written. So if you like Resident Evil 2, this is very enjoyable. Now on to Resident Evil Underworld. This is a side story. This is the last Resident Evil book I read, because I left the side stories till last, and I read the main books first. That's how I felt I wanted to do it. This is rather good. It features some more Leon and Claire side stories that the author wrote herself, and it's quite enjoyable. Now on to Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which is the 5th book in the series. This is really enjoyable. It was learning about Carlos and Joe Valentine's relationship and their struggles through Raccoon City and escaping the giant behemoth that is Nemesis, who's practically invincible and unkillable, but a very enjoyable read. And the final one is Resident Evil Code Veronica, and I really enjoy this one because it expanded on the relationship between Claire and Steve, and it was really sad in the game when Steve died and Claire had to say goodbye to him. And I was also really sad when I read this, and I remember that Steve dies and stuff, and I felt really sad and really sorry for Claire. She lost her only friend through the horror that she had to face in that game. It was just a great read. If you like Resident Evil, I would highly recommend the Resident Evil novels. They're very easy to come by, and definitely well worth reading, and they're also very cheap. Right, next book. Ico, Castle in the Mist. This is a really great read. I haven't read that much of it, but from what I've read so far, I am really enjoying it. This is a great adaptation of a game into a book. The Japanese author, she is really talented. I am not going to pronounce her name because A, I can't speak Japanese, B, when I try, I most time fail, and C, this name's pretty difficult to pronounce. But the person who translated it, Alexander Smith, did a good job. I'm really glad that this book got translated into English, because that can be a rare thing sometimes with books. Sometimes they just stay in their native country and nothing happens to them, but if you're a fan of Ico, it's a really great read. It's about, I'm going to say 400 pages, and it's just really well done. And on Amazon, it's less than £10, so it's not expensive by any stretch at all. And it's definitely a great read. Now on to my comics. See you there. Now, about 2 years ago, I went to a comic book festival in Leeds called Thought Bubble. And now, I'm not the biggest comic book fan at this point, but I approached comics basically the same way I approached mangas and found some video game ones and went from there. This is The Last of Us, American Dreams, which is a trade paperback. Yeah, I prefer to read trade paperbacks rather than comic books, because then I know I've got the entire series and therefore I'm not missing any bits. I hate when I have missing pieces to certain things. But yeah, I really enjoyed the video game The Last of Us, and I also really enjoyed this prologue to Last of Us, and it learned about the character Ellie and her friend. It was just really great, and the artwork is beautiful, and it's just a really enjoyable read. So if you like The Last of Us, definitely seek out this graphic novel and enjoy it. It's just great. Next. This next comic I got from my House of the Dead Overkill on the Wii. I saved this from the box when I sold the Wii version and bought the PS3 version. It's a little comic. It's difficult to get hold of these days because it's part of a special edition, but I thought I'd show it from this video because technically it is a comic or a graphic novel sort of thing. It's rather rude and very skin showing because it's all about Vala guns and her boobs and stuff, but it's a rather great read, and I have read it the odd time. It's somewhat enjoyable, so if you like House of the Dead Overkill, it may be worth trying to find this, although it might be pretty difficult because it's somewhat a limited quantity due to the fact that it is part of a special edition of the Wii version of the game. Next. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider has several comic series, and I didn't really know where to start. The first one I read, I found at the same Thought Bubble I found the Last of Us comic, was Piece of Zero. This was a rather good trade paperback, and I enjoyed it. Later on I discovered that this was part of like a four trade paperback set. I still need to get one more in this set to complete my collection of this Tomb Raider set. And I found them rather enjoyable. I'll just flick through Pieces of Zero, because Pieces of Zero is the only one I've read out of this set. I still need to read the other two I own. But yeah, the artwork is rather good. It's a rather enjoyable read, and Lara Croft is my favourite character, so I enjoyed read about her and her adventures, searching for buried treasure and stuff like that. So if you like Tomb Raider, these might be up your street. Now on to the more modern Tomb Raider comics. There are 3 volumes in this one, there's this one, there's this one, and this one. These are all part of the first set. This is loosely based off the Tomb Raider game from 2013, the Tomb Raider reboot, with the islands and the Dragon Triangle, all that sort of thing. And I really enjoyed these, so yeah. I'll just have a quick flick through here just to show you what the artwork's like and that sort of thing. It sort of flicks back and forth between Lara's normal life and her life on the island of Yamato. And it was really enjoyable. There is one more I have at this moment in time. This is the Tomb Raider Spore, Volume 1. I haven't read this yet because I haven't had time, but I believe that this is more based on the second Tomb Raider game that's recently been released on PS4, Rise of the Tomb Raider. And I'm looking forward to reading it. And I hope it's as good as the other three. Right, on to my final two graphic novels. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on the PSP and on the PS3 with the HD version of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I discovered that the cutscenes and artwork were all like a graphic novel, and my curiosity was instantly sort of tempted. I thought, I wonder if there's actually any physical graphic novels of Metal Gear Solid. And I did some research, and I found out that they were. And a few weeks back, I went to Huddersfield Magicon in my hometown, and I was looking around the stalls, and I discovered Metal Gear Solid, the complete graphic novel, for £8, which is an absolute bargain, and it was in very good shape, and I immediately grabbed it and happily gave the vendor Martin money because I was really wanting to read these things. And as far as I know, there are only 2 Metal Gear Solid graphic novels, and they cover Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2. When these things were first launched, they were like $35, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, getting them for £8 was a real bargain, and they were in very good condition. And I really enjoyed reading the first one. Right, I'll flick through this one here, just to show you some of the artwork. All the artwork is done by the exact same guy who did the cutscenes for Peace Walker and Portable Ops. It's just absolutely beautiful and great. I really enjoyed reading these. And there we go. Now, as for Metal Gear Solid Complete Sons of Liberty, this is also pretty good. I haven't finished reading it yet. As you will notice, the bookmark is in, and I still need to finish reading this. But so far, from what I've read, it's pretty good, and I'm enjoying it. Metal Gear Solid 2 is not my favourite Metal Gear game, but I still enjoy it a little bit. This is a great read if you like Metal Gear Solid 2. I am so far enjoying reading this. I'll just have a quick flick through here, just show you some more of the artwork. There we are. And after showing that, I will end this video. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.